Good morning. The last trading day of the week. Feels good.
It does. I'm looking forward to a little respite. It was a very busy week for me. Not that you guys need to hear all about it, but yeah, it was a short week already, but already it felt long. We had Monday off. We had the inauguration and the MLK holiday and all that. And I don't know what, in general, would you say the week kind of trended up a little bit, didn't it?
I mean, yesterday was all-time highs, daily
Right.
candle close for the SPY. So, I mean, I think that's a successful week, right?
I would say so too.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
So,
Charlie Mitch says so good. Yeah.
yeah, so good. All right. Well, I guess I can kick it off with the indices here. And yeah, with the SPY after the all-time high daily candle close yesterday, it's coming back down a little bit pre-market, just 78 cents so far. Perhaps retesting the previous high zone, maybe 608 or so. I think this has good potential to really stay in this zone, right? And my focus for this one really is to see if it can actually gravitate towards the linear scale 2.272 fib now at 647.72. So that's really my next target, and the I think could be a magnet for price for the SPY over time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
QQQ, we can see that the previous all-time high still has not been touched yet, but I think it's going in that direction, just like the SPY. So it's playing a little bit of a catch-up there. So just give it some time to get to the 538 and above. And IWM, the only focus is where that arrow is, and that's the 786, right? Stay above that, and it's golden, right? So it's obviously a previous resistance zone. You can see here, previous resistance, resistance, resistance. Now it's back above it, right? So it did all of this here, which is probably one giant liquidity grab, making people panic
Yeah.
and panic for a long period of time. And now we can see that price is finally back where it should be. And I think what is going to happen next, it's going to slowly grind higher until all-time highs. And not sure how soon that's going to be, but I think once that does happen, it's going to be great for all markets, including crypto.
Yeah, I just want to point out all those breaks you see, those intraday trading breaks. That's just IWM is just in such a hurry to test all these levels. There's a lot of potential energy built up, I think, behind all this to make all
Oh, yeah.
those gaps happen. So yeah, they were in a hurry to get to 244, and then after they got up there, then they were in a hurry to get back down to $212, and now they're in a hurry to get back to the 886, I think.
Yeah. So that's the next resistance zone, the 235. So we'll see if it has the energy next week or so to get there.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I haven't shared my screen yet. As I think I'll have to remind myself to do this. Let's start opening the show with some plugs, right? Because Matt, you've got a paid Patreon subscription. After
Yeah.
this, you're always in a hurry about 9:08 to leave here to go and do your paid Patreon live updates, live
Yeah.
market
For
stuff.
the tier 4, yeah. I
Oh,
have a Telegram, I have the tier 4, I have all that we do trades and setups. I even have a course on Patreon for the tier 4 people in development right now.
that sounds awesome. So, see, for some of you guys, we're just preaching to the choir, but others of you that are here, you can subscribe to Matt's Patreon, and if you just can't get enough of Matt, by the time he's gone at 9:10, he's back on at what 9:15.
Yeah, just 5 minutes later, I'm jumping on a live stream for the
Yeah,
Patreon people. Yeah.
and then if you just can't get enough Tracker, I just want to announce that starting today, I'm going back to doing live streams, but it's for subscribers only. My subscription's super cheap; it's just $2 a month. And yeah, I'm gonna start picking up like about 9:20 a.m. And then just run through to about 11 a.m. Daily when the markets are open. And
Very
I
good.
apologize, still just trying to share my screen here.
Well, I can jump on. I can jump on Tesla real quick
Yeah,
while
please go right
we
ahead.
while we wait. So yeah, Tesla. We can see that we're looking for a weekly candle close, or I'm looking for just essentially above the previous all-time highs, that zone. It is above it currently. So there's really nothing to report back. Like during the week, it's just been in that range. But I think today and tomorrow it's getting closer. Not tomorrow, but Monday it's getting closer to that cloud, right? So I think if it wants to stay really bullish, it's going to just bounce off it and go higher. So I think that's what we're really paying attention to. So this daily cloud could mean that perhaps today it might want to go higher, right, and get above the cloud more and more and more. So the resistance for today is going to be up here at the 430.79 again. And yeah, let's just look for a weekly candle close that's more bullish than the rest of the week. And I think like with the Model Y, if you want to talk about narratives, like that could be good because the pre-orders could be pretty strong and all that stuff, right? So that's a little fun fundamentals right there. But I think no matter what, it's just building a base on top of the previous all-time highs and the previous 2021 levels down here too. So it's a really bullish setup for the future. So I think it could lead to good things going into next week's earnings.
I'm trying to get on your Tesla chart when you were showing the weekly just a second ago.
This is the weekly.
And then it was going into the was it weekly? The one where the cloud was so close to us. Was that the daily?
The daily, yeah.
Ah, okay. Does that, when it touches the cloud, well, what day is that?
That would be like Monday or Tuesday. But it could, but today it could just like go up above it to just avoid it and go higher. So I think what we're just looking at is it's time, right? There's been enough time to consolidate before it got near the cloud, and it's time. It's time to pick a direction. It's time to be more bullish, I think. So let's see if that can come to fruition.
Yeah, all right. If you show my screen here, basically the point I was making is that the earnings are coming up on Wednesday. So right here, I've got this this vertical line. This is today's close, Friday end of week. Here's earnings, and yeah, it looks like it could just go right to earnings, maybe dip into the cloud for a little bit of fear, maybe dip really deeply. I am tracking this. Why does it move? Why does everything move? I'm about to do a show. It's like, because I'm playing on my phone all the time is why. All right, from here to here to there, and then to here. Look, if it wants to continue this triangle and get one more touch, ooh, it could get really scary just before earnings. So look for an opportunity to buy if it goes down before earnings comes out and then runs up and out. I'd only be concerned if it ran up before earnings. Really, if it did that, maybe just come down a little bit more and then take off after that. So anyway, I'm looking for an opportunity to buy more Tesla, or TSLL actually, just ahead of earnings here. And like Matt, I'm looking forward to bounce higher. And my next target, I've got this fib here for 480. So I'm looking forward to almost get to the previous all-time high, then check back one more time for support before breaking through. So there's Tesla for today. What else do we have? Or where do you want to go next, Matt?
Yeah, we can do. Let's just do Palantir.
Okay, yeah.
Because I put that in the morning hashtags or cash tags or whatever. But here's an example of Palantir avoiding the daily cloud, right? So maybe Tesla wants to do the same thing. How it went down here, got to close to the daily cloud, and then it didn't even touch it, and now it's going higher. So I think Tesla could be doing something similar to that. And what we see now, it's back above the 1.272. So for all the people that had their doubts about Palantir, I think the doubts were not warranted because this chart always wanted to be bullish. And now the goal is to close above this 78.13 for the weekly candle close. So this is the target. And I want to see it just stay week over week, day over day above that level. And if it does, it's going to the 100s. And all the overvalued people are going to keep crying.
Yep, indeed. I just want to give everyone a glimpse of my Palantir chart. Because this is the weekly candlestick chart, and it looks like it was like 5 waves here, dipped back, and then made a new larger structure. After it ran up here, everyone was afraid that this was going to be like the high and it was going to crash back down. It didn't. They thought this was the high and it started to test back down. They thought, okay, it's going to crash back down. It did not. Finally, it got way up here to $84.80, came back down only to test this level again as support, and now it's taken off again. So I've taken, it's hard for me to find a good 1-2 on Palantir, but I finally found it. That 84.80 all-time high back to the support level of 63.40, that is my new 1-2, giving me all of these lovely, lovely extensions higher to 112 next, back to 87, up to 152, back to 127, and up to $216.30. And I mean, really, when I look at a chart from a distance like this, that is a very clear larger degree 1-2 to me. So let's give it the benefit of a doubt that it could really go a lot higher from here. So I'm buying PTIR, the 2x bullish ETF of Palantir. And as you can see, I've built a very similar structure for it. The funny thing about PTIR is it's more expensive than the underlying stock now. To buy a share of PTIR now, it's $139. But I see it going to 192 next. All right, there's that.
Yeah, I see a couple of Schwab stuff here, so I'll take a look at the Schwab. And yeah, the SCHY. From the all-time high down here, it's holding this 50% level now as a support. But I think people mostly buy these based on dividends, right? And what is it, 29 cents every month? Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, I mean, yeah, if you're going to buy this, you're going to buy it, I guess, near support. It is near support. I mean, these things are kind of boring to me, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to do anything, though. So it's underneath the cloud. It's underneath the averages. It's underneath a lot of resistance. So it's probably just going to stay in a range. So if it's just going to stay in a range, you're just buying it for the dividend play. And that's about it. So I'll look at SCHD, another dividend one. And this one, we can see it's a little bit better, right? A little bit more bullish. And it's also already hit its support, right? So the opportunity, if you wanted to buy, was probably in that $27 zone. Now it's getting above the baseline, so it has potential to hold that too. But it's still stuck under the 28.30. So I can see it probably just still drifting maybe sideways, getting closer to the cloud too before it really tries to challenge previous all-time highs. But again, you're looking at small percentage moves, right? From the 28s to the 29s is not a big percentage move, so it doesn't really matter too much. And you're just buying it for the dividend, which is what, 26 cents every month. Yeah. So, yeah, these are slow movers, but both of them appear to be at support, but probably won't be making big gains anytime soon.
Yeah, with my newly acquired Mattsby GAN eyes, I can see the support arc that it had. Oh no, I'm on the Schwab one.
Okay.
But I can see the support arc, on the left side of the screen. I can see where it broke up and went to the next GAN horizontal level, and that's where it's fighting over it right now. So yeah, it's tracking, but it's not a very fast mover. It took 2 years to go from its last liquidity grab to its next high.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead and switch back on over.
Yeah, you want to do some ASTS, and yesterday during the live show, I was talking about when it was under $19. I think I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good, right? And sure enough, it was good.
Exactly. I've got a very clear 5 waves up here from the bottom. Here's my 1-2 was pretty small, but it predicted the 3-4 very well and the 5th wave top. And here's an ABC down. And right over here, this is what I really want to show you, is right. It's still technically, it could possibly still be in the ABC, right? In fact, this is kind of the A, B, and now it made a lower low yesterday. So the C is still rocking and rolling. That could be all of it. It went to this is Matt's retracement fibs here from the top to the bottom. A typical retrace is often an ABC down into the 618. So it's still possible for it to go to 1615. But I've told you recently, really bullish stocks don't always go to the 618. Sometimes they bounce right off the 50% level. This one toyed with the 50% level, went down below it a little bit, started to look like it was going to break out, hit resistance at the Ichimoku conversion line on the weekly here, and push back down lower to the 55% level. So if that holds, then it's gravy. I bought some more ASTS yesterday. If it falls down to the 618, I will buy even more. Is it possible? Here's the weekly moving average 75. If it went sideways for long enough, then maybe these two could intersect around the 618. We'll see. We'll have to see. There seems to be a lot more excitement over this space, though. I don't know. I see the legacy media pumping space exploration anyway after Donald's inauguration on Monday and his speeches, his associated speeches. So anyway, ASTS Space Mobile, a great place to buy some. Even if it goes a little lower, it only affects these extension fibs by like $1 or $2. So we're still looking at, upwards of a 450% gain to this 2236 at $105.99. So ASTS Space Mobile, I'm a buyer. Same thing with DXYZ. I actually was reworking this chart. I'm not going to bore you with reworking the rest of it right now, but I will do it in my live stream this morning after the show. I'll fix all this and get you the updated. Again, it's only going to change it by a couple of dollars, I think, but I'm still looking for somewhere between $105 and $114 for the Wave 5 top for Destiny, DXYZ next. And that's my space coverage this morning. Oh, don't leave out Lunar, though, too. I should show this chart. Yeah, Lunar, I'm still tracking this as its fifth wave up. So I'm looking for 33.21 next for Lunar after finding support down here at 1574. No, I'm sorry, 1593. All right, Matt, where would you like to go next? Do you want to do crypto?
Let's take a look at some of the requests. So, yeah. Yeah, I see a cookie dough, and I see people talking about XRP. So, yeah, I can talk about some of that real quick here. So, let me switch to my chart. Cookie dough. I've done this one before. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Let's do cookie dough. Yeah, it's like cookie dough, maybe. Yeah, cookie dough. Yeah, I think what I'm seeing here for cookie dough is just a normal rejection at the 1.618 extension, and I think I talked about this last time too. And it's coming back down towards the 1.272, so it's just in the same range as before. And yeah, I think it has.
Do you often expect it to hold the 1.272 after getting the 1.618, or does it ever come back to the 1?
Yeah, often I do expect it, but that's why this is a key level, the 33.7. Like if there's ever weekly candle closes that closes below it, then oftentimes it goes back down to the 1 to retest it. So yeah, this is basically the line in the sand that you can consider. 33.7, stay above that, it's going higher, right? If it starts to close below that, then we know there's going to be some risk off for probably a lot of weeks to retest levels and then continue higher. So until then, it's just stuck, right? It's stuck under the conversion line baseline right there as well, and the 1.414. So not sure if it's really going to break out soon, but perhaps it can build a base just on top of this 33-cent level before going higher. And with XRP, we can see that it is going higher and higher, and we can go to the daily chart to really see what's going on. And you can see daily chart, it went towards the cloud too a couple of times and never even touched it and kept on going higher. Something that Tesla looks like it could do as well. So if that's the case, then XRP, it's also still riding the daily conversion line at 310. So this is your support until it's not, right? So I think if that keeps holding, then it's just going to keep going higher and higher and higher. So this has potential to break out soon as long as it stays above all these indicators. So that's what I'm watching for XRP.
Let me show my Bitcoin chart for a second. And I want to talk about why would somebody sell their cookie dough if it's doing so well? Maybe because it hit an exuberant peak, and then it started to retrace a little bit, so they started to get a little scared about holding on to the winnings. And maybe another crypto was starting to look more attractive to them. So we've had a lot of movement in Bitcoin and XRP and whatnot. Here on this Bitcoin chart, you can see we had this successful retest and actually a toe over the previous all-time high of 108,364 back here in January 20th, the election. I mean, not the election, the inauguration. And we've got a tweezer top, a tweezer bottom, followed by a single top, a single bottom. And now look what's happening with the Ichimoku conversion line and baseline. It's forming a pincher, like price is really getting squeezed between the two of these. A lot of pressure is building up. I wouldn't be surprised after, here's my moving average 75. It had a nice, propulsion through it to the bullish side. Maybe one last liquidity grab before moving up to the next level. So it just, the longer it goes sideways, the closer my moving average 75 can get. So it doesn't have to make quite such a leap. So yeah, let's see what happens. These are 8-hour candlesticks. Let's see what happens this Sunday. This Sunday, maybe it'll do one more dive down to 100,000 and then go higher, or it'll just like try to get away from all of this and just say, I should look at the weekly candlestick really and say, screw you guys, I'm out of here. Moving average 75 is so far away on the weekly candlesticks. It's not really going to be useful. Here it is on the daily. Yeah, it's just making a really nice run up. It only barely touched it on the daily here. So maybe, like I've got this box drawn here. I think this period between January 26th and February 9th could be kind of pivotal for Bitcoin doing something big again. So look out this next week. Maybe just touches back down to the cloud here, just briefly, like momentarily, and then back up again. That's all I wanted to say about that.
All right, and I see a few more for crypto. Let me just jump on that. And for XDC, I see that it got above this 45-degree angle here, guys, on the weekly chart. So was a resistance flipping to support. So that is your support, 10 cents, right? And the next level of resistance is going to be this orange level up here, basically around 16 cents. So yeah, it looks good. It's one of the more bullish ones. It had a break of structure right here from forming a higher high, and things are going higher. So I think whether it needs to come back down to the 10 cents or not, I think the continuation is likely for XDC. And I see one for flare, and I already have some arrows drawn out here, and I think it's just trying to maintain this angle as support now. So whether it gets above this fib right here, the 618 at 0.031, I think no matter what, it's just going to probably just keep trying to hold this angle and go towards the 786 right here, which is going to be the ultimate goal, the big boss, to overcome before all-time highs.
All right, I see a request for MicroStrategy and Con, or MSTX and ConL. So here's my MicroStrategy chart. And I just want to point out again, if you haven't heard this from me before, I really view all this action here as the preamble. And then we got this huge 5-wave impulse up to the all-time high of 543, and then almost, practically a crash afterwards. It was a slow-moving crash. These are weekly candlesticks, but it felt like it was a fast-moving crash if you held through it like I did. Finally hit support at 285, and we're back up for a kind of an A, B. I think we're going to a C, but this could be like a 1-2. Actually, that's not even a 1-2. Anyway, I view all of this as this is my larger degree wave 1. Here's my larger degree wave 2. And so now we're going into wave 3. And then all of that, my projections are, my next major target is the wave 3 sub 1 at $697. So I'm really expecting Bitcoin to do some amazing things, and for people to just praise Michael Saylor more than they already have, and more people to jump into the Michael Saylor boat that his MicroStrategy is working. So MicroStrategy is 697 next, MSTX. My next target is, looks like 107 for an A, B, but the major target, the wave 1 of, subwave 1 of 3 is 163.77. So that is, I didn't compare this here. From our prices right now, 54-ish. That's about 200% higher in MSTX. Sorry, I'm just reloading this page because I want to do this too. And so from where price is now, that's about 82% higher for MicroStrategy. The difference offset is because MSTX is based on options. When things really get going, like when the the bullishness is palpable, the options run faster. They run ahead of the underlying stock price. All right, back to Coinbase, and Matt, feel free to do any of these after me that you want. I know you're a big fan also. My Coinbase chart, I see all of this as your wave one, wave two. So from the previous high of 288 back to 146. And then now we have a new higher high is the wave three of one done, wave three sub two done. And now we're ready for the longest, strongest heart of the third for Coinbase. My next target is 502.02. So that from where we are right now is about a 68% upside. I'm going to ConL. Same thing. I was kind of playing with butterfly harmonics. I'm just going to ignore that's not really effective right there. But my next target higher is 136.18. So from where price is right now, that's about 180% higher almost. Again, once these things kind of get going, the 2x ETFs can run hotter and faster and stronger than the underlying. So that's how this chart sets up. How about you, Matt? What do you think about ConL, MSTX, and their underlying?
Yeah, I think they're looking great, right? There's really no change for anything, but they are looking more bullish. So I think they're going higher, right? Regardless of any kind of narrative, they're gonna go higher. So I do actually have a request that I see for OTC. And I've done this one before, the BTQQF, and yeah, it was a monster move, right? From basically 19 cents, 18 cents, all the way up to basically $4. And now it's actually consolidating on top of the 1.618 here at that 236. So I think that has potential to kind of hold as support. It is above the katana of the conversion line and the baseline. So this does have potential to go higher, but be mindful if it ever does lose this 236 zone, it's going to probably fall a lot further because it's very extended, right? It could easily come back down to the $1 range and retest there, right? So, or even below. But as long as that 236 holds, I think it has potential to keep building a base and go higher.
Yeah, it looks really good. It already did that support wick back down. Couldn't even get to the 141.
No,
yeah, that looks great. And obviously would have to cross 141 before it could do anything worse. So
yeah, so far it's holding perfectly. Yeah.
So far so good.
And
I've got my. Oh no, go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to do BB real quick. I wanted to point out that it's on top of the weekly cloud, actually, for basically the first time ever, right? Except for right here. We want to count this 2021 level. That's just not important. But yeah, the first time in a long time, and that is going to be the goal now. Stay above the cloud, right? And if that can happen, like the 380s down here, or maybe max pain scenario, I would love to see it above the 350 down here. Stay above the 100-week moving average at a minimum, right? But this has potential to go up to the 549 now, so I think BB does look better and better. But as long as it stays above here, it has a chance. If it starts going back below the 100-week moving average, I'll be a lot more cautious once again.
Hey, stay on that chart. Zoom in just a little bit to where we are right now. And I just want to point out, where price is right now in comparison to those weekly moving averages. After a big Morobotsu candle that it just had in 2024, when it's either going to want to come back to the moving average, your 100, right? That's the blue one is the 100?
Yeah, the blue is 100.
It's either going to want to test back to that for support before going higher, or it could try to retest a previous high and let that, is that your moving average 50 in green?
Yeah, right here.
If let the 50 start to come up towards the 100 and then go long enough for it then to go back and it'll, just as the 50 is about to cross to the 100, it might be do a fast run back to test that as support before letting it continue higher. those are scenarios I see all the time on all sorts of time frames. So just keep an eye on that 50 versus the 100. Either it gets a test back to the 100 and then keeps going from there, or it goes sideways or tries to even go a little higher, stretch its neck up a little more, long enough to let that 50 catch up to the 100, and then it'll like run down towards that intersection. So just keep that in mind. Yep. On any chart you're tracking. Do you want to do another one, or talk up to him otherwise?
Yeah, I was gonna just jump on Rocket Lab since everybody's talking about it, and I'm watching the blue level and the arc right there. So I'm looking for a weekly candle close above this zone, right? So flipping it to maybe a support. It is still kind of a resistance, so we'll see how it closes today. Yeah, I mean, if it closes at current price, that will be an all-time high. That will be above resistance. That will be the potential to flip it to support to go to the 35 and the $45 target. So this is very interesting developments for Rocket Lab, and I think it has potential now to actually break through this resistance zone.
It does indeed. So, I've got a weird thing for Rocket Lab. I'm not sure I believe it, actually. But yeah, I see the same thing. Like the 100% fib extension is 34.69, so I think it's going to really want to test that level. Originally, I had this going up to 41.71 for the 138.2% fib extension. And what I tried to do was use Matt's fib retracement levels to build a narrative for how the turn into the wave 4, the sub wave 4 and sub wave 5 into the wave 3 could go. But maybe it goes a little higher. Look for 35, and then we'll see what kind of test back down it does. But ultimately, I see this wanting to test $41.71 before doing a real wave 4 retest. So this could be like March, and this could be the lull before the summer bang. So like this could be like May through, this could be the month of May, actually. All right. Was there another one you want to do? Or should I do?
No, go ahead. Do your
here's hymns. Here's HIMS. Let's sing a hymn for hymns. This stock is just doing great. If you look at the weekly, these are weekly candlesticks. The MCDX Plus, they're just buying it and buying it and buying it. They like it. The market makers do. The institutional buyers and whales. Based off of my wave 1, wave 2, my subwave 1 and 2 of wave 3 are complete. Could it go back down and make the wave 2 extend longer? It could. It's always a possibility, but if it does not, wave 3, all of wave 3 is $46 basically, with a test back to 38.30. And if we don't get if this just rockets up to wave 3, this wave 4 will be longer, just so that theory of alternation here. So keep that in mind. In fact, I'm going to keep that in my mind by just moving it like that. So $46 next for hymns with a test back to 38 before going on to 95% higher than where price is now, or 97% higher to 61.32. I see a request for Tim. I could do if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Tempest AI. This one has been a little tricky, but after hitting an all-time high of $79.49 and then testing back down to 31.36, it looks like it really wants to come to the 618 and then the 236, I think. It could go to the 786. This is where I'm not quite sure yet about the flavor. I think I was tracking a 618 back here, so that's why I'm tracking 618 up here. Look for it to hit $66.34 next. You can see right now it's just stuck under the weekly Ichimoku baseline as resistance. Maybe it has to test back. Actually, let's take a look. Does it already test this back? It did. It already tested back to its 49.74 conversion line. Yeah, look, so it's already done the Moributsu test back. It's ready to go higher. So Tempest AI to 66.34 next. If it goes higher than that, it's probably going to 74.60. But right now, let's look at 66.34 and then after all that, it's a test back down here. The MCDX Plus is bullish on the weekly, but it's not super bullish yet. Come on, daily. Even on the daily, it's not super, super bullish. It's pretty bullish, but not. It doesn't look anything like the other stocks we just looked at. All right, Tempest AI, done.
Yes. All right. I'll do one more here. Maybe Hood, because Hood is good. I love Hood. Yeah, Hood looks fantastic. It's one of the few that is breaking above the 786 on the first try so far. Right. So far, it's breaking above the 786 on the first try, which is pretty incredible. And we'll see if it can maintain, right? This is the goal, to close the weekly candle above and future weekly candles above it too. So if it ever starts to close weekly candles back below this 49.52, then I'll be a little bit cautious of it going back down to retest levels. But as long as it maintains this 49.52 week over week over week, guess where it's going to go? It's going to go to the 60s, and it's going to go towards all-time highs. So super bullish on Hood. I do have a position on this, and I have not taken any profits at all since I think the 20s or something. I don't know, but this is looking really, really good for continuation.
Yeah, and it totally fits the narrative that we have for 2025 being so bullish. More people are coming back to the market. Here's just an idea. You don't have to follow it at all, but you could possibly, since it's already wicked back to test support and it's back over that. I'm sorry, but on your chart.
Okay.
Back over your what is the 1, 2, that horizontal line. Maybe you could put a stop loss just under the body of the previous candle. As just an idea, if you wanted to stop loss this thing. Matt doesn't do stop losses, but if you listening to the sound of my voice wanted to do something like that, that's just an idea for stop loss. Kim appreciates life. I'm going to do IonQ in the private show after this. ACHR is a public one that I have been doing. So Matthew, bring me back up. My ACHR chart, it transformed. I thought that this was going to be a wave 3 top, a little bit of a wave 4, and then we get a higher wave 5. It didn't do that. I guess I must have miscounted it, because this acted like a wave 5 top, and then all the price action coming back down here has made me believe that this could be a 1-2. So I looked back in history, and I said, okay, let's make this the larger degree 1-2. Like, I thought this was like the 3-4. This is going to be the 5 way up here. No. So this is my 1-2 now, and this is our wave 3 sub 1 sub 2. So my wave, the heart of the wave 3 could be happening now, and all of wave 3 should go to 1637. And once again, I tried to use Matt's retracement fibs as a way to possibly build a narrative where price gets to the 127, bing, bang, boom, up to the 141, then test back to the 100% before going higher to my 1637 target. It's entirely possible that this wave 2 could still, let me just get rid of these, they're in the way. It's entirely possible that it could still fall over a little bit back into this zone for an extended wave 2 before going up. But if it could just get going, then maybe the wave 4 will be longer instead. Same thing, if it could just start going faster. It doesn't look like it's going really fast though. Even with all this bullishness, let's see, those are 1 hour candlesticks. Let's look at a weekly chart. 77% bankers in Wales, less than 10%. That's actually quite bullish. It's actually quite bullish. Yeah, so I think this could just rocket up on to the 1637 next, and maybe the wave 4 will extend. Anyway, that's it. 1637 is where I'm looking next for ACHR. So yeah, you could still, if you hadn't bought any of it now, if you'd waited to this long, to that target, that's still a 66% gain, 65% gain from where price closed yesterday. Where are we in pre-market with that? 988. All right, that's it. Final thoughts, Matt? Matt's got his Patreon tier. Is it the tier 5?
It's 4 now. I rearranged it, so it's 4 now. Yeah.
So if you sign up for his Patreon tier 4, you can enjoy more Matt next. If you sign up for my subscription for $2 a month on X, you can enjoy my live show that going to go from 9:20 until 11 this morning, and I'll take lots of requests.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good weekend.